Everyone, I'm Adeshina of Favour Adeshina, front-end developer, a member of Facebook Developer Circle, Ado Ekiti, member of Google Developer Group, and also a member of Eternity Ekiti. So I'm here to explain my contract, my Dacade contract, my Dacade project. So the project title is HMS, Hospital Management System. So Hospital Management System is an app for simply is an app meant for recording of patients' data. Now I looked at the issue where hospitals find it difficult to record patients' data, especially in this period where there's an increased need of recording of patients' data. They will find it difficult in handling 100 patient data when recording manually. But with this app now, the doctor, the admin doctor, or whoever in charge can easily file in record patients' details rather, without much stress, especially in this period of COVID-19 where a lot of patients, the number of people coming to the hospital each day are increasing. So the problem I'm solving is easy record of patients in a hospital. Okay, and I made use of JavaScript and Sophia for my contract. So I'm going to quickly explain my code, starting with my contract here in my contract folder. Okay, so it's a payable contract. Okay, so it's a payable contract. So the record patients function here is to in order to record patient details, it takes in patient address, name, sex, and image. The record doctor is to take in the doctor details. It's taking the doctor address, name of the doctor, and image of the doctor. Then for the medical records, taking the name of doctor, dates of admission, height, weight, the BMI, genotype, blood group, and medication given. Then I initialize my states. Okay, we have the patient to map the patient to an address, and doctors will map the doctor to an address. The medical records will map a list of medical records to an address, and also the owner. You have the owner in my state also. So I initialize my state for entry points, patient, which is an empty set there, doctors and medical records. Then the owner is equals to my public address. Then state for entry points. Okay, add patient. This is for the function to add patients. You have the name, sex, image. Okay, and for a new patient, I say patient address call.caller, a name, sex, image to add a new patient. Then to call the patient, the put function. Call the patient, use the put function. The put function here is call the patient. Then payable state for entry point. I created another function to add doctor and taking name and image of the doctor. Then the same thing here to add a new doctor. So say let new doctor address call.caller, call for the name and image, or change.spend. Okay, so it will require you, this change.spend will require a certain amount of AEs to record doctor info. So another state for entry points, add medical record to take in address, date, height, weight, BMI, genotype, blood group, medication given. It enables you to store this data on the blockchain under the function add medical record. Okay, so entry point get patients, to call the patient, to get search for a patient, to get a patient. So entry point patient record map the lookup underscore. For this function is to see the record of patients. Entry point get doctor is to see the doctor records. Entry point all patients to see the list of patients. Okay, so that's basically all in my contract folder. So back to JavaScript now. Okay, JavaScript here. So my JavaScript is basically My JavaScript is basically to record patient details with the contracts with testnet, to record patient details and link it together with the testnet. Okay, with testnet there. Okay, so I said let client equals to null, contract instance null, patient image null, doctor image equals to null, ipfs equals to null. So I have my contract address there. Then I pasted my contract here. And I created a function record DOM, which will take in doctor date, height, weight, BMI, genotype, blood group and medication. Then record list to get the list of patient records. Then I have a function here for my divs. Okay, so here I have another list DOM. I have another function that will take in address and name. This is to get the patient list through the patient's address. Also here I have another function, here, admin patients. Okay, this will make the admin to be able to register a patient, okay, through the name and sex and also through image. So I have another function here to add doctor, for the admin to be able to add doctor here. Okay, so I have another function here for medical record to ask for the doctor's name, date, height, weight, BMI, genotype, blood group and medication given. Okay, so I created an event listener function for the ipfs here. Okay, for the ipfs. Then I have some codes here for the image, to add the patient's image using ipfs function, ipfs Sophia function. Okay, so I have a function here to search for errors, to catch errors, and another function here to add patients. Okay, so function add patient events. Okay, this is to add patients. The function here to add doctor. I have another function here to add doctor, another function here to add medical record. So that's basically what my JavaScript is all about. So my UI, okay, my UI here, I use the bootstrap templates. So my UI is just to give some further styling to make it responsive. Yeah, so you have the loader styles here for the loader. Then we have some WebKit keyframes to make it more responsive here. So that's what basically my UI is all about. I use a bootstrap template, so the UI is not much. I just gave some fixed stylings to make it more responsive, and some styles for the loader. And my HTML code is where I did the basic structure of my contract. Title HMS app. Okay, I gave it some this is the basic structure of my contract. Okay, so you have add medical records here. You have it's basically, my HTML is basically to give the basic structure of my contract in order for I to do a further styling with the style sheet. So that's basically all. That's basically everything about my contract. So like I said earlier, HMS is simply to help doctors, or to help hospitals rather, to have a clear record of their patients. You know, in this period, there is an increasing need for patients and for recording of patients. So my HMS app is simply solving that problem, and I believe that it will go a long way in solving the problem of record keeping, because a lot of hospitals are having that issue of poor record keeping. So with this now, I think with this, the problem of the problem of storing patients' records will be solved. Thank you very much.